For the longest time, we've thought of AI as something that just answers us. We give it a command, it gives us a response. But all that, it's about to change. We're talking about a huge leap here, from this passive AI to something way more powerful, AI agents. And this isn't just about getting smarter answers. Nope, it's about giving AI the power to actually get things done.
And this quote from the source material, man, it just nails it. This isn't some small incremental step. This is about making AI truly useful by giving it the ability to take action in the real world. It's the next logical step, right? Taking this tech from just a chatbot and turning it into a real teammate.
So what's the real difference here? Well, think about it. The AI we have today is pretty passive. It needs us, a human, to tell it what to do every single step of the way. AI agents? Totally different ballgame. They're autonomous. You just give them a goal, and they go figure out how to make it happen. It's a complete shift. We're moving from an AI that just predicts things to software that actually does things.
Okay, so to really get how they pull this off, we've got to pop the hood and see what's inside. Let's build an agent piece by piece and check out its core components.
All right. Every agent has to start with a brain. This is its core reasoning engine. You can think of it like one of those powerful language models we're all getting used to. This is the part that processes all the info, weighs the options, and, makes the final call. But of course, a brain on its own can't do much, right? It needs a way to actually interact with the world, and that's where the hands come in. These are the tools, things like APIs, which are basically messengers that let different programs talk to each other. This is what connects the agent's thinking to the real world and lets it take actual, concrete actions.
And what connects the brain to the hands? Well, that's the nervous system, or what we call the orchestration layer. And this part is absolutely crucial. It's the process that manages the whole operation. It runs the agent's main loop, gives it a memory, and actually executes the strategy. It's what turns a thought into a series of coherent actions.
So what's really cool is how all these pieces work together in a cycle. The agent operates in this continuous loop. First, it thinks about the goal. Then it acts using one of its tools. After that, it observes the result of what it just did. And finally, it iterates. It just repeats that whole process over and over again until the job is done. This simple loop is the secret sauce that lets it break down these huge, complex tasks into small, bite-sized steps.
And that simple loop, well, you can scale it up in complexity to create all different kinds of agents. So let's take a look at the 5 levels of these agentic systems. It'll really help us understand this evolutionary leap, starting with what you might call a brain in a jar. All right, let's kick things off with level 1. This is really the first big step where the agent becomes truly functional. It's where it moves beyond just its programming and connects to what's happening right now.
So at this level, we have the connected problem solver. By giving the model access to tools, say a search API, it can suddenly answer questions about the real world in real time. It's not stuck with just the data it was trained on anymore. It's now aware of what's happening in the world today.
Okay, on to level 2. And this is where we see a really big jump in what these things can do strategically. The agent isn't just answering one-off questions anymore. It's actually starting to think ahead, to form a plan.
Here we've got the strategic problem solver. So instead of just doing one thing, it can now create and follow a multi-step plan. Think about a request like finding a good coffee shop. It knows, okay, first I need to find the halfway point between these two places, and then I need to search for coffee shops in that specific area. It's all about chaining actions together in a logical way.
Now at level 3, this is where things get really, really interesting. We're moving beyond just a single agent and into the idea of multiple agents all working together, like a team, to solve even bigger problems.
And this gives us the collaborative multi-agent system. Seriously, think of it just like a company. Instead of one super agent trying to do everything, you have a project manager agent that delegates tasks to a whole team of specialists. A market research agent, a marketing agent, a web dev agent. This is a brilliant way to see how we could automate entire business workflows.
And that brings us to level 4. This is pretty much the frontier of what agents can do right now. This is where they start showing signs of real autonomy, real intelligence. They become systems that can actually learn and grow on their own. This is the self-evolving system. And these agents can do something pretty remarkable. They can realize when they're missing a skill or a tool they need, and then create it themselves, on the fly. It's a system that can just dynamically expand its own abilities. It turns a team of agents into a truly learning, evolving organization.
Okay, so that's the incredible potential, right? But how do we actually manage these powerful autonomous systems out in the real world? Let's switch gears and talk about the very practical challenges of putting agents to work. And this really brings us to the million-dollar question. When you have software that can literally act on its own, how do you make sure it's reliable, that it's safe, that it's effective? That becomes priority number one, and it means we need totally new ways of thinking about operations and security.
Well, the answer is a new field that's emerging called AgentOps. It's kind of like an evolution of DevOps, the practices for building and maintaining software, but this is specifically designed for the wild, unpredictable nature of AI. It gives us a structured way to set business goals, or KPIs, and then, get this, use other language models as an impartial judge to score how well the agent is doing. It's all about building systems to reliably manage these powerful, but sometimes unpredictable, new colleagues.
And security? It gets a complete overhaul. See, in our normal systems, we have two kinds of actors with permissions: human users and service accounts. Agents introduce a brand new third category. They're autonomous actors that have been given delegated authority. What that means is they need their own unique identity and their own specific set of permissions to operate safely inside a company. Honestly, a lot like a trusted employee who has a specific job and a specific security clearance.
So here's the really crucial takeaway. We're not just building smarter tools here. We're actually developing a whole new kind of partnership between humans and AI. It's a partnership where we shift from being the commanders to being collaborators.
And this final quote from the source material just captures that vision perfectly. When you build and manage an agent the right way, it isn't just some piece of automation. It becomes a true collaborative entity, a new, highly capable member of your team. And that leaves us with one last big thought to chew on. If these autonomous, adaptable systems are really becoming our new teammates, then what does that make our new role? What does the future of work even look like in a world of human-AI collaboration? I guess that's something we're all going to be figuring out together.